Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is a great movie. Now, this shouldn't be a very surprising take, but if you weren't born in the 90s, you might not be aware of just how big these movies were before Michael Bay got his stink all over the franchise. This movie in particular took this franchise into the stratosphere and works as a really fun time capsule of early 90s youth culture and the immigrant experience in America. So if you're like me and never got to experience this movie when it came out, find yourself a cozy little spot on the couch and grab a slice of pizza, because I'm Colton from Nostalgia Mode, and this is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from 1990. The movie opens with a montage of New Yorkers across the city getting their wallets swiped and horrible little TVs stolen off their patios in broad daylight. One guy even gets his wallet snatched by what looks suspiciously like Shredder's arm. I've rewound this shot like a million times and I cannot tell if that's just a mix-up or my imagination. That's Shredder, right? Like, somebody tell me, I need answers. The opening montage of this movie sets the tone instantly. We are in a different era of kids movie. This thing is set in a New York that is grimy and sweaty and covered in trash, and it's not real New York City at all. I mean, most of this movie was filmed in North Carolina or on sets. So this is more like a Friends or Seinfeld situation where you feel nostalgic for this fake reality of New York that never really existed in the first place. Reporter April O'Neil, played by Judith Hogg of Halloween Town fame, is walking home after covering the recent crime wave when she's suddenly surrounded by a pack of treacherous youths, and they're way rougher than you would expect for a kids movie. And just as things start to get dicey, a group of unseen vigilantes swoop in, save April, and then vanish, leaving behind only a singular sigh that is honestly not very sharp looking. Small nitpick here, but in the aftermath of this fight, Raphael is literally just watching from the sewer like 2 inches away. His big ass green head is popping out of a manhole cover right in front of everyone. I mean, look at him, he's so close. I get it's a kid's movie, but come on, how is nobody noticing a giant turtle just chilling there? He's right there!
Open your eyes. Open your eyes.
Down in the sewer, we finally get to meet our rubber heroes, Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, and Raphael, the turtles themselves, in suits built by Jim Henson and his company Creature Shop, the same team behind decades of incredible work on the Muppets and other countless iconic movie puppets. These suits are fucking sick. Even now, they blow me away. 30 years later, they have blinking eyes, subtle lip movements, they just feel so alive. Admittedly, after you settle into the movie a little bit, it can be a little jarring in the beginning, but Henson's work is the backbone of this movie. If the turtles didn't work, the whole thing falls apart. But make no mistake, apparently wearing these things was hell. The animatronic motors inside the turtle heads themselves was so loud that actor Josh Pye said it was like being stuck in Grand Central Station at rush hour with a tin can over your head. It does not sound fun. But what is fun, and slightly bittersweet, is the fact that this was actually the last theatrical project Jim Henson ever worked on before he passed away. The silver lining is he left us at the peak of his powers, pushing film animatronics further than anyone had ever done before. Without his work on this film, we never would have gotten to the Goro animatronic in 1995's Mortal Kombat movie, so for that we all owe Jim Henson a ginormous debt of gratitude. Leonardo is played on screen in the suit by stuntman David Foreman and is voiced by actor Brian Tochi. Michelangelo is played by stuntman McKellen Sisti and voiced by actor Robbie Rist, and Raphael is played and voiced by actor Josh Pye, rocking a truly awful Brooklyn accent that honestly somehow works for me.
A Jose Canseco bat? Tell me, you didn't pay money for this.
Donatello is played in the suit by actor Leif Tilden and is voiced by Corey fucking Feldman. Corey fucking Feldman. For all these years, I truly had no idea he was in this movie, but apparently he wasn't the most well-behaved guy on set. This was peak Bad Boy Feldman, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. And another fun fact before we get back to the action, as a thank you for their hard work inside those 75-pound sweat-soaked latex suits, the stunt guys were all given cameos sprinkled throughout the film. which is a classy move because it significantly upped the paycheck they were allowed to take home due to union stuff I don't fully understand. Our boys return to Splinter, their giant rat sensei who congratulates them, but warns that ninja discipline is more than just pizza parties. Raphael, overly frustrated with himself for leaving the side behind, I guess, or I don't know, it's very melodramatic, but I guess that's Raphael's character, decides to head topside in a big-ass trench coat and a fedora looking like a big green Columbo and somehow buys tickets to see Critters. New Yorkers have seen worse, I guess? I don't know. Also, Raphael swears, like, a lot. He drops so many damns in this movie, which you never get in a kid's movie now. It's quite refreshing, honestly. It probably helped that this was an independent production, so they didn't have to tiptoe around big studio guidelines. Actually, fun fact, this was the highest grossing independent film ever made until the Blair Witch Project came out in 1999. This thing made $135 million in the domestic box office off a teeny tiny $13.5 million budget. That is a huge payoff. After apparently being disappointed by Critters, which is bullshit by the way, because Critters rules, Raphael decides to wander the city and stumbles upon more of New York's youths robbing innocent people. And while taking them down, he runs into our other main character, Casey Jones, an incredibly douchey vigilante in sweatpants who fights crime with sports equipment. Casey immediately just accepts that he's sparring with a human-sized turtle. No questions asked. I mean, he kind of thinks it's a mask or green face paint, but like, look at him. It's clearly not. Their scuffle is honestly really funny out of context when you remember that one actor is in sweatpants and the other is wearing 80 pounds of rubber foam. As the story goes, when Raphael gets knocked into the trash can by Casey Jones, the face and the animatronics inside the turtle head caved in and broke actor Josh Pye's nose. This is the take they used in the movie too. As Raph gets up from the trash can, you can see him grabbing his nose area before the shot cuts. So, to finish the scene, Pye was replaced by one of the foot soldier stuntmen named Ken Scott. And Ken Scott actually did a lot of the major scenes as a foot soldier, including that nunchuck face-off with Michelangelo later on. Meanwhile, we get a look at where this crime wave is stemming from. Easily the coolest villain hideout ever put to film. I'm not kidding, this place is heaven. Little children are running around smoking cigarettes, drinking beers, and gambling. These are all things that I love.
So, today I'm going to be day drinking and smoking cigarettes in a public park at 2 p.m. in the afternoon, which I am quite excited to do.
And it honestly looks like the best time. This is Dudes Rock heaven. I'm sure this was supposed to scare kids straight in 1990, but mission failed because it does not. I'd be here 24/7, no shame. And sadly, Shredder shows up and immediately fucks up the vibes. He's covered in blades, rocking a chrome helmet, and recruiting runaway teens with promises of free cigarettes and family, or whatever. One of those runaway teens is actually a baby-faced Sam Rockwell, who gets one of the funniest jokes in the movie by handing out giant cigarette cartons like party favors. It genuinely made me laugh out loud. Back at Channel 3, April's coworker, or boss, guy, whatever, I don't know. They seem overly close for coworkers, but whatever. He's really worried about his son Danny, who's now joined Shredder in his Dudes Who Rock club, and April's getting in trouble with the police chief because she's pushing the story about the Foot Clan, and he's obviously corrupt and useless. April has officially pushed the Foot Clan too far, and they're ordered to silence her. So naturally, a group of ninjas ambush her down in the subway, and I guess now's a good time to talk about the Foot Clan's costumes because they're kind of awful. In a movie full of genuinely incredible animatronics and practical effects, these guys are one of the only misses, really. It looks like the costume department just bought 10,000 Oakley lens replacements by accident or something, and since the budget was so small, they just kind of ran with it. They're basically just wearing shiesties with giant bug eyes glued on. Luckily, Raphael shows up just in time to save April and brings her back to the turtles' lair deep in the sewers. Unluckily, a foot soldier tags along for the ride to eavesdrop and eventually snitch. Over pizza, Splinter finally tells everyone the origin story of their family. Once a pet rat in Japan, he watched his master, Hamato Yoshi, practice ninjutsu, then he got brought to America, his master was killed, toxic waste spills on him, yada yada yada. Boom, talking turtles. And yes, if that origin sounds a bit too familiar, That's because it is. The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles origin is a direct ripoff of Marvel's blind ninja lawyer, Matt Murdock. When Matt Murdock pushes that old man out of the way and gets toxic waste spilled into his eyes, that toxic waste also spills onto 4 little turtles. Everything in TMNT is an intentional ripoff of Daredevil, due to the creators Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird being such big fans of Frank Miller's run with Daredevil. Matt Murdock fought the hand, the turtles fight the foot. Daredevil is trained by Stick, the turtles get trained by Splinter. You see what I'm saying? Eastman and Laird basically ripped Frank Miller's whole vibe and somehow accidentally created a billion-dollar franchise that outshone Daredevil for a very, very long time. And since we're all best buddies now, April offers the gang her apartment as a crash pad, and while they're gone, the Foot storm the sewers, trash everything, and kidnap Splinter, bringing him back to Dudes Rock headquarters and promptly remove him from a majority of this movie. Raphael, being the self-absorbed narcissist that he is, blames himself and goes to sulk on the roof until the Foot soldiers ambush him, and they clobber the absolute shit out of him. Like, they beat the dog shit out of this poor guy, and what follows is a pretty amazing apartment brawl. Remember, these actors are cartwheeling inside suits that weigh up to 75 pounds and are incredibly hot to be in.
Oh, a fellow chucker, eh?
That's gotta be racist. There's no way.
And for some weird reason, Donatello gets like the brunt of all the punishment. Like, they drown him and they do a bunch of other shit to him that none of the other turtles get in terms of like brutal shots. Like, the stunt team must have had a vendetta. It's very weird. But the fight ends with April's house on fire, forcing everyone to escape out of the city with Casey. Oh yeah, he shows up. Fantastic. Awesome. Our heroes decide to heal up at April's family farmhouse, and unfortunately this section just kind of brings the pace of the film to a grinding halt. They just decide to fuck around for a bit, waiting for Raphael to heal up, and they pass the time with a bunch of weird, kind of unconnected scenes of people doing stupid shit. A primary example of this stupid shit I'm talking about is where Casey tries to force a neck massage on April in an attempt at flirting. It's so aggressive and weird. He like shoves her down into the chair. Fucking chill out, dude. Casey Jones, you are the worst. But admittedly, there are a few sweet moments too. Mikey is grieving, Leo is meditating, and an astral projection pep talk from Splinter reminds them that they are strongest as a team. I really like some of these scenes, honestly, and seeing Mikey cry through the latex still kinda low-key hits hard, and again reminds me of how incredible these costumes are, that they can make me feel some sort of emotion, even though I know they're not, like, actually real. Meanwhile, runaway kid Danny visits Splinter in captivity. Seeing him chained up and tortured in their base is surprisingly intense for a PG-rated film, but despite being chained to a wall, he still manages to deliver top-tier therapy, telling Danny all about Yoshi, Tang Shen, and the vendetta with Arusaki. Danny decides maybe the guy with the knife helmet isn't really father figure material. Also, side note, how does Shredder not immediately recognize who Splinter is? Like, he got attacked by a rat that walks on 2 legs, and you just conveniently, in the same city, caught a bigger rat that also walks on 2 legs? Like, how did you not put 2 and 2 together? How many rats do you know that can do that or like look like that? Did I miss something? Is there a point when I miss something? After what feels like a million fucking years, our heroes finally decide to return to the city to save Splinter. Casey pretty easily infiltrates the Foot base. I guess they are just children, most of all, and most of them are drunk, and their lungs are all fucked up from all the cigarettes, so I guess that makes sense. And he convinces the skate punk army that they're being exploited. The Turtles storm the lair, bust out some movie quotes mid-battle, and chase Shredder onto a rooftop for their final confrontation. And it doesn't really go very well. Shredder pretty easily wipes the floor with each of these guys individually. He parries every strike and tosses each of them aside like a greasy pizza box. They ain't got shit on him. And just when he's about to kill Leonardo, Splinter appears, calm and wise as ever. He calls Shredder out by his real name, which finally makes him realize that yes, this rat is the same rat that scratched your face all those years ago. How many talking rats that know karate do you know in this city, Shredder, you dumb piece of shit? Anyways, he lunges at Splinter, Splinter flips him off the roof, and he ends up landing in a garbage truck, which Casey Jones, because he's the worst, crushes him with by flipping the compactor switch. What a kids movie. What a guy. The police eventually arrive to arrest all the coolest dudes you've ever known, and Sam Rockwell immediately snitches about their stash of stolen electronics and cigarettes. Danny reconciles with his dad, April lands her job back, corner office included, and because it's 1990, Casey and April have to seal their zero chemistry romance with a kiss. Awesome. And finally, the four turtles and Splinter are all celebrating on the rooftop, and Raphael drops a bitchin'? A bitchin'? That made me laugh so hard. This is a kid's movie.
Bitchin'!
It says rated PG right there. Am I crazy? That's everything I've got on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie from 1990. But please leave a comment down below if I missed anything, and also leave a like on the video. If you enjoy what I do here, it really helps let YouTube know it needs to show my videos to more wonderful people like you. And finally, don't forget to subscribe to Nostalgia Mode for more entertainment related videos. Until next time, bye.